right, what's going on, BE3? We are coming to you from Quarantineville, of course, and you got Jeff Beggins and
Craig Beggins
and Mike Puma.
And we're gonna have some fun today, and the best that we can in this crazy little world that we're in. Our short-lived little weird part of the economy, which is fun for some and not so fun with others. So, Craig, we were just chatting. Fill us in on the conversation you just had with some of the staff.
Okay, so we're basically on lockdown. We've got 8 office locations around the marketplace, are all shut down. The corporate office, we have a receptionist there on the first floor who's answering all the phones for the entire company, and she's still getting phone calls and we're still getting leads. And upstairs, we have our controller who's writing all the paychecks and all the stuff for the agents, because we had 180 closings last month and the agents want to be paid. So we got an upstairs team and a downstairs team. There's one person and the doors are locked. You come in by appointment. So I make it a point to talk to our accounting person every day, a couple times a day, just to find out what's going on, make sure she's good. There's not people violating her personal space, et cetera. So we're having our conversation just an hour ago. And she goes, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure." She goes, "How come it appears that our top agents are telling me there's no business and everything dried up, yet I'm getting agents in every day telling me they got a listing and it sold in a day, or they got 3 sales this week? What's going on?" And I went, our top agents are saying there's no business out there, and our newer agents are banging sales. What do you think it is? I think a lot of it is mindset. I've got one top agent I was talking to about this, and she said, "My business is dried up." And I said, "What are you doing?" She says, "Well, I'm in grandma mode right now." And then it makes me think about, I was talking to another top agent, and I'm encouraging them to look at that guy's, with the ball cap on, marketing guide. And I'm saying, look, there's a strategy. You're gonna have a slow time now, but the activities you do now are gonna put you in a position in the future to just skyrocket. And I can't teach it as well as he can, but we've recorded it, we've sent it out. I've asked this agent for 6 days in a row to watch that class. And they finally watched it yesterday, and they liked it because it gave a prescriptive approach. So I would suggest that from my conversation with the accounting lady, that those that are engaging in new novel ideas are creating opportunities and recognition, and those who are receding and not participating in the world virtually are being pushed aside. And that's really scary to me, because this is a time when, we talk about this a lot, a new agent can put themselves into a high position of respect and loyalty when an experienced agent just retreats into a hole and doesn't do anything.
Well, experienced agents are vulnerable right now, very vulnerable, because of the fact that they have become so romantic about what got them there, right, to be the top agent, that it's very hard for them to pivot. And it's not as hard to pivot as a brand new agent. So you're going to see that.
Tell us, Jeff, if you ignore them during the dreaming phase, they're going to ignore you during the buying phase.
Yep.
I talked to one of my contractors the other day. He's like, "Craig, I got to tell you, I can't wait to get my house improved. As soon as this is over, I'm renovating this damn place. I don't want to be here anymore." And there's a lot of people going to say that. They're going to renovate their current house, or they're going to sell that house and get another one.
We've got a whole little marketing strategy coming in about that pretty soon. I'd send over to Puma this morning. We're gonna have some fun with that. But I think you're right on with that, Craig, because what I'm seeing from an agent perspective is we've been pushing what? Be the calm and control the narrative, right? That's the issue. And when people are trying to crawl down the rabbit hole, grab their ankles and pull their ass back out, right? I do that on a daily basis now. We've got a lot of people we've got new home projects. We've got things ready to close right now. And all day long, I'm literally holding people and saying, snap out of it, right? On a daily basis, multiple times a day, saying, wait a second, one of the guys is a financial advisor, right? Who is flipping his you-know-what out right now because he's got clients flipping out and cashing out 7-figure portfolios on him, right? Which, of course, he doesn't like because there's trails there. And running on the bank, trying to take several hundred thousands of dollars out in cash, and the bank says, "I don't have that much here," and he flips out. So, I mean, so there's people going to weird extremes right now because of uncertainty, and we've got to say, stop, right? This doesn't make any sense. Take a deep breath, let's calm down for a second and let's think about what's really going on, right? This is our job. And I think the agents who are engaged right now are actually pulling people out of holes and saying, I'm not letting you go down that hole because it's going to kill you and it's going to hurt you and it's not right, right? This is a reaction to an event that's a short-term event. I just don't know the definition of short-term. I don't know if we're fine in April, May, or June, right? But it's one of those from everything we can read from looking at this whole thing. So worst case scenario, let's say it's June, okay? Let's say you got 90 days of a pause of your world for a second. That's not so bad. You're going to be fine. And everybody I'm talking to, as long as it is April, May, or June,
you're freezing up.
Shape recovery, right? Where people are going to say, okay,
your speed.
Am I?
You're freezing too much.
I had Spectrum over here the other day. And in fact, I've got that piece of equipment to hook up shortly, and I'll do that after the podcast today. So that's going.
Come over and help you.
6 feet apart, and bring beer. So, but I think that's the issue. Is those who are controlling the narrative? Because after I get a chance to have conversations with people, I mean, rightfully so, people are freaking out because nobody knows what's really going on. I was talking to a couple doctor friends today, and one is an investor in one of these projects too, and he says, "Hey, I'm scheduled to close this thing out in a couple of weeks. Can you do me a favor and hit the pause button for me?" And I'm like, "Oh, great, here we go again. I got to smack him around." And I said, "Dude, you're an ER doctor. What's going on from your perspective?" He's like, "Well, not good. We're not going to peak for a little while, but it's going to be just fine. And we just have to let it run its course, right?" And that's the message. And he's like, "Look, I have plenty of cash, but cash is king, and I'm going to be able to take advantage of a lot of opportunities. So could you pause me for a month or so? Give me your lender. I want to transfer my cash closing into a finance closing. I'm totally able to buy. I want to free up my cash. And in fact, I'll buy a couple more if anybody wants to freak out. I'm happy to help them unfreak. And but I need a little bit of time, right?" And I think that's an important lesson right now because there's people that everybody knows. I mean, consciously, right? If you put fear aside for a second, we've seen this movie, and it goes, it spikes, it declines, it recovers, right? That's just, you're not making that up because it's happening in other countries around the world right now. They're going through the same thing. We can't be more connected than we are right now.
Well, come on. I'm not making light of it. I agree with everything we're doing, but we had Ebola, we had SARS, we've had all these things. These are not new, right? They come and they go, and we know that's going to happen. So just remember that. This is a little different, but it's really the same. It's a virus that comes and it goes, and the media gets a hold. And now we've got, instead of the media with NBC, ABC, and CBS, we've got a whole bunch of people with their own media channels saying all kinds of things that are right, wrong, and indifferent. Hell, I've been on 3 different webinars that gave me 3 different bits of information on 3 of the same topics. My email is nothing but people coming through with coronavirus update, coronavirus. I just delete them all. I can't do it. I haven't turned my TV on in over a week.
And everybody, billions of people now have their own media channels to plot out their own conspiracy theories about what's really going on in the world. Yeah. And it's an interesting maneuver.
Well, here's the reality of it. I'm thankful we have so many agents, 80 to 100 a day are engaging in our morning podcast. That's awesome. Then I got extra time in the day. Chris did a good job on Wednesday. We all have extra time now. The 15-minute ride to the office is now an extra 15-minute meditation. I do training. I go downstairs or on my Peloton bike for an hour. I shower, I come up, I check emails. I'm watching webinars or something. I go sit by the pool, but I'm totally engaged all day long. I'm flipping between my email and answering phone calls while the podcast is running or the webinar is running. I'm probably busier now than I was when I was in the office.
No doubt.
I think most people are, though. And I think that's why we're going to see that even when things get back to normal, it's never going to be the normal that we knew it. I think we're going to see a lot of the habits. But that's why I think it's so important, because I do think a lot of the things that we're doing now are going to carry forward a little bit from just a habits perspective, which is why I am pushing so hard for our agents to get in the habit of communicating in this type of world. Because yes, we're not going to be socially distant as we are to this degree forever, but I do believe that we are going to be more conscious of where we are in large groups and how we're interacting. I do think that'll carry weight for a while. So if you can get in the habit right now of doing all the following the marketing guide, doing your daily activities, and figuring out how you can be effective and efficient in this environment, I think you're going to be able to carry that on when things do get back to quote unquote normal, even though I don't believe that they will get to the normal that we previously knew. But I think now's the time. Now's the time to develop these habits because, you've heard it, I've heard it. How many times have you heard an agent when you tell them tactically go do this, they say, I don't have time, right? Especially from our top agents. And they're busy, and I get it. And they really were busy. But you're not as busy now. And to your point, even if your business stayed exactly the same, you still have 15 to 30 to 45 minutes extra that you didn't have just from not driving around anywhere. Right. So you have extra time. I don't care who you are. Everyone has more time right now than they did before, which means that there is zero excuse that you are not taking that time and actually using it to move your business forward and build brand and bring value and do all the things that are going to allow you to be really successful when this thing, quote unquote, ends. And
Mike, you're giving them the narrative to post on Facebook, the text block. You're giving them the video to download and upload. I mean, What else can you do? And I was talking to an agent last night who said, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I said, why? Because I've seen it on Facebook 17 times already today. I said, but that's not it. Number one, yes, a lot of your friends on Facebook are agents. And there are agents. So you're going to see if they're posting stuff. But you've got a whole different audience. Don't worry about posting something that somebody else posted because it's not intended for those people.
But hold on. That's a great point. So let's really dissect what that was. It's really an excuse to not do, right? It's how we justify it to ourselves to not do anything. Oh, I'm not going to do that because I've seen it. What? If we're honest with ourselves, how many times have you scrolled through your Facebook feed and seen the same meme, seen the same video, seen the same? It's how Facebook, Instagram, it's how they work, right? The funnier and the better the content, the more often you tend to see it, right? Gary Vee shares a video, 100,000 people share that video, right? So I love that type of answer because that, to me, if that agent is listening and watches this podcast, I hope they really take a hard look and realize, wait a minute, I'm really just trying to justify to myself as a reason of why I'm not going to do the work to put it in. We can't make it easier. And we do have a lot of agents that are engaging in it. We are literally creating a post for them every day. It's in their inbox every morning if they want to take advantage. And we have had a lot take advantage of it. And I love it because we've had some that take the video or the picture and then add their own copy to it. We've had some that will use the copy and then make their own picture or no picture at all. They're all kind of doing it in their own unique way, which is awesome. And really, what I was really hoping for is I would share the video and that would inspire them to go use the tools we give them, because the same tools I'm using to create that video, they have accessible to them for free, and use that as an example to go shoot their own video. So my response to that agent would have been, all right, cool. You didn't want to use that because you've seen it. Did you go do your own?
Right.
No, you didn't. Why? Right? Because you don't want to do the work. So you're just going to keep coming up with new excuses of why you didn't do it. But the reality is the only person that's hurting is that person, because everyone else who did it is moving their business forward, even if they can't see it yet.
So here's something that's exciting. Exciting. I was talking to an agent this morning who's recently very much engaged, more so than she was before. And I said, how are you doing with your business? I'm seeing her a lot more active on social. And so I was giving her credit for that. And she had another job, right? And that other job is very slow, and pretty much she doesn't have it anymore. So she's taken this opportunity. She's got a spousal support, so she's good with normal, but doesn't have that income. So she said, I'm taking advantage of this opportunity. We got a 3-month deferral. They have cash, right? But they got a 3-month deferral on their mortgage, which saves them several thousands of dollars. Plus she applied for the $10,000 stimulus payment, right? Disaster relief plan. So she's like, wait a second. So look what I just created. I now just saved, in their case, it was almost $10,000 for the mortgage payments, right? Plus another $10,000. She goes, I just want to go ring the bell in the office because I just made 20 grand, right? But what I'm going to do with that 20 grand is do what you guys are teaching, and I'm leveraging myself to the market that I'm planning on taking over, and I'm pushing out the message and I'm pushing out content, and I'm taking care of that. So she's going to leverage that 20 grand into an ad spend. I mean, Puma, she could spend $150 and that's more than she couldn't even spend that much, right? To take over a town, to push a narrative and control the comm and just be ready to convert people's dreams into reality, even if it's 3 months from now. So it's a brilliant concept. And so that's a great example of why she'll be in Q3, right? And Q4, but she's going to suck it in Q2, but she's building up her pipeline. So she's ready to rock and roll there. So that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now is the time, and it's hard for a lot of agents to switch gears, but in my opinion, now's the time where they all need to focus. If they took their approach on social as brand, and not sales,
Yep.
They will win, right? Anyone who's out right now trying to sell every day on their social will lose, because as the general public, we're not in a mindset to be sold right now, right? We're just not. We're worrying about too many other things. We're worrying about where to find freaking toilet paper, which, can someone explain this to me? Because we live in Florida where there's hurricanes, and I've never, ever, ever had an issue getting toilet paper. But for some reason, we have decided that this virus is going to require us. I'm pretty sure Charmin started this virus. But nevertheless, I think that is something that I'm thinking about a lot in the content and the daily posts that I'm pushing out, is all about how can I help the agent build brand, bring value, and focus 100% on that. Not what post can I give them that's going to get them another lead. Right now is not the time to be in lead gen. Now is the time to be in the brand business. And if they focus on that, they'll win.
Public service, first responders, and cashiers at Publix.
Yeah. I
mean, that's nice. Every time I've been to the store, I've made it a point to say, thank you for showing up at work.
Yeah.
And please stay behind the plastic shield.
Well, especially though, because you brought up a good point, which is why we redid that second video to specifically thank the cashiers and the grocery store workers and all those folks, because when you think about it, those are the people that are some of the most underpaid or lower paid people in our society. And, yes, they're thrilled to just still have a job. But then I think about it from a parent perspective too. Like, if that was my son who's a teenager, would I want him going? You know what I mean? But they're doing it. They're showing up. They're working, which is why it's so frustrating. They're going to work for $10 an hour, yet we can't get our agents to do simple things from home for an hour a day that's going to lead to thousands of dollars of income. And so that's where I get frustrated. And I am empathetic to the fact that we have a lot going on, right? I'm fortunate enough where my wife is a former teacher, because I've seen what she's doing from a homeschooling perspective. And I've heard from friends of mine that are also parents that don't have that background that, oh my God, my kid was doing schoolwork until 8 o'clock because I can't figure out how to submit this. And it's chaos right now. So I am super empathetic to what's going on in everyone's life. But at the same time, I also double that down with the fact that you need an hour a day to communicate. And we are in the people in communication business, even in a virus quarantine environment. So
right.
I don't know.
Well, if you're watching this video, go to beggins3.com and search for the marketing guide. And it will give you literally, it's probably an hour-long recording of what to do, but it's a step-by-step for an hour a day. We all have an hour a day now. And I'm so excited for those who do it, because I just know when this breaks, I've seen Americans before. They're going to go hog wild.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to go to shoppers. It's going to take a while to cool down. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. But when we get back, when the virus is not headline news every 4 seconds, people are going to say, shit, I want to go to a concert. I want to go dancing. I want to go to a restaurant. I want to go to a movie. I want to go to something. And we'll spend money. But if we don't do the things now, we're not going to have the money to spend. The government's not going to carry us forever.
Yeah, well, they can't.
That's right.
I mean,
No,
10 grand a month.
I'm excited because I'm seeing more people working than I'm seeing not working.
That's true.
And it's different people. It's fun for me because, like, to your point, Greg, it's different people working now than were working before. Because the reality is, if you're a top agent and you were making a few $100,000 a year, you got a few $100,000 probably stocked away. So the pressure is off and you can go into grandma mode because you're taking a little breather. But if you don't have a couple $100,000 sitting in the bank account and you want that, then you better get ready because your time's coming in June and you're going to steal market share away from grandma because she's going to miss the opportunity. That's the point. But I think consciously, those agents that are taking off right now, they somewhere deep inside, they know that and they're okay with that because you can't not know that. So it's okay. That goes back to self-awareness. If you say, you know what, I'm hitting the pause button right now because I can, more power to you, but don't be complaining in June, July, and August when there's 4 other signs from another agent in your neighborhood, because that other agent is going to take your market share. And it's okay if you're okay with that. But if you're not okay with that, you need to wake up and get to work because there's reminds at your disposal. There's every targeted LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram ads at your disposal. And it costs you $50. There's for sale by owners. There's every door direct. There's so many little things you can do from literally an hour or 2 hours a day. So my call out is to take some really, really, really few moments right now and realize which one do you want to be. Because if you honestly self-selecting the pause button, more power to you. Have at it, right? You deserve it. You've earned it. But don't complain in June and July when you're not at the top agent retreats and you don't have the cash flow rolling. You can build it back up in Q4, I guess, if you want to. And that's your luxury and you're allowed to do that. But if you're a newer agent and you don't have the luxury of not working right now, then you're going to be the one with a few $100,000 in your bank by the end of this year. And I'm not joking. And you're going to have market share. You'll have 3, 4, 5, 6 signs popping out of the ground in June, which will, every sign is worth at least 2 deals. So then you're going to have 12, 13 deals closing in Q3, Q4. That's big money, right? That's big. This is the separation of the herd from those who work and those who don't. And if I think if a lot of people are honest, they didn't have to work too hard leading into this, because a lot of the business was referral and repeat and was kind of order taking rather than order making. And right now your pipeline filling to make orders later. I mean, it's interesting. If you have inventory, you're going to be in great shape. If you don't have inventory, you're not going to be in great shape. So this is the time to fill that pipeline, and with people who are dreaming now, and then dreams become reality, guys. So if you just start to kind of nudge them a little bit, and every one of us, and don't you wish you had a dedicated office right now? Like, wouldn't it be cool to have a theater room right now? Do you have a pool? Wouldn't you like one? Do you have an outdoor kitchen with some music and an ice maker and a little kegerator? Wouldn't you like one? Right? How about a yard for your kids to go play? Would you like a bigger one? Right? What about a dedicated playroom for your kids? Would you like one? How about a she shed? You want one? How about a man cave? Don't you wish you had one? How about an extra bay in your garage? Would you like one? Then go get one, because it's a generational opportunity coming. When this does turn, the stimulus is going to happen and rates are going to drop, because they're going to nudge everybody to say, please go spend money. Here, pretty much free. We just want you to go spend it, please. You know it's coming, right? So what I want to do is nudge everybody to the point where they're saying, what would you do? Right? Would you like to have room for another kitchen? Would you like to have a separate freezer or fridge in your house? Do you want to listen, this is reality. We're all sitting at a time when you're looking at your house and going, damn it, right? I wish I had a spot for X, Y, and Z. And you're about to have the money basically thrown at you to have you to go do that. But if you're not looking around for where you want to be living right now, you're wasting an opportunity, because when it's time to pounce, it's going to pounce. I mean, no crystal ball, but I'm pretty sure you're going to see interest rates starting with a 2 point something, right? When this thing comes back around. I can't see that not happening just from a stimulus perspective alone. And if that's the case, it's as free as you're going to get for a long, 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 long time. And you're going to have a lot of people with those interest rates looking for houses. So your house is going to be majorly in demand. And it's going to be an interesting kind of land grab shift around that's going to happen pretty quickly. And so, but as agents, we need to be planting the seed that I just talked about. You should be telling everybody what I just said, because that's going to plant their seed to start thinking about, you know what, honey? If the home theater would be badass, what would it cost to do that? What if we add in, hey, if you got a big enough yard, go do it a remodel addition, call a contractor, figure it out. 75 grand. You got the equity, go pull a line out of credit out of your house, right? Do that, but do something. But we need to be the ones kind of putting those thoughts out there so they can actually do something about it.
I agree. It's all about engagement.
Engagement, planting the seeds, and chatting. So, all right, stimulus, just a public service announcement. While you're, yeah, take advantage of it. Public service announcement. If you're not applying for your $10,000 stimulus disaster recovery loan, you better do it.
It's going to go. You're nuts if you're not doing it.
First come, first serve. There's $50 billion for you. So what we need to do is put that link down here. And it's just a Google SBA disaster recovery loan and fills out. I think it takes like 3 minutes, and you just enter your bank account and your routing number. And I haven't seen the money. And then take advantage of the opportunities, guys. If you have any issues, call your lender. There's a difference between forbearance and deferral. I think that's a big distinction to make here. A forbearance is they'll pause you for 90 days, but you owe 3 months worth of payments 90 days from now. It's probably not what you want. You might want to be talking about a deferral, which kind of just adds 3 months to the back of your loan if your lender will let you do that. So take advantage of these opportunities right now. So if you can get a 3-month deferral plus a $10,000 check, once you put your business hat on for a second and leverage that and do a little bit of a spend to make sure that when this does turn around, you're stockpiling huge pipeline full of business. So that's my immediate takeaway right now.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool.
Once again, Beggins3.com. Check out the marketing guide. It'll give you an hour a day worth of stuff. We've all got an hour a day.
Yeah, we'll put a link to it in the description below.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Stay strong, stay safe, spread the calm, control the narrative, and tell people it's going to be all right. And get ready to take advantage of the surge when it happens, because it is coming. And thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks,
I'll
guys.
see you later. Bye.
See ya.
See ya.